high school is a GTA server for drama. If you're being sexually active, do it safe and do it smart. Like little squiggles right here. Stay away from the upperclassmen. They're not gonna get you anywhere. They're gonna get you with heartbreaking tears. Hey guys, welcome back to my channel, and if you're new, welcome to my channel where you will get raw and unproblematic content from me. In today's video, I'm going to be discussing high school advice and everything that I messed up within my 4 years of high school. I feel like I'm very qualified to talk about this. I'm going to be talking about a few things that you guys should take into consideration. It's all opinion in my experience, because everybody's experience is different. And it's advice, so take it however you want to take it. The first thing I want to touch on is appearance and hygiene. So keeping up with your appearance and hygiene is really important throughout life in general, but in high school, during this stage, your hormones are heightened. That being said, you need to start getting into a habit of looking up to par and also feeling to par, not just looking, because you can slap on deodorant over something musty and people will know and you will know, and that's just uncomfortable and just not hygienic. I recommend waking up at a decent hour before you need to go, 30 minutes to an hour before you actually have to wake up, just so that you can give yourself enough time to get yourself together. Like if you didn't shower the night before, shower in the morning, but give yourself enough time to take a shower, brush your teeth, wash your face, do your skincare. What else? Use deodorant. Find a deodorant that works for you. If you're one of the girls, for me, I personally would wear makeup to school. It just depends on the day how much I would put on. So if you don't feel like you want to wear makeup, you don't have to wear makeup. It's just a personal preference. So if that's your personal preference to wear makeup at school, you go and give yourself enough time to do so. And 9 times out of 10 in high school, a lot of people are wearing makeup and you're trying new things, and I'm gonna touch into that later on in the video about trying new things and expressing yourself in different ways. I brought this as the first one because appearance and hygiene is actually one of the most important things for me, in my opinion. In high school, you're around hundreds of kids throughout the day, right? You're around hundreds of kids, you're walking around back to classes here and there, this hall, up down the stairs, outside even if your school is different. My school is mostly inside. You're walking, you're moving, your body is moving, your body is in function. Keep up with your hygiene throughout the day. So I recommend for the girls and the guys to carry like a little bag, a hygiene bag with you, with just some deodorant, toothpaste and a toothbrush even, a toothpaste and a toothbrush even, just in case, you never know. Mouthwash, gum. And for the girls, for our cycles that we have in the month, always make sure you keep pads or tampons with you in your backpack, in a little secret area if you want to secret. But in high school, like as we get older, everybody knows that happens, so it's like it's not really a secret. I just kept mine in a little baggie, separate bag from all of my other supplies in my bag. Keep that with you. Keep those emergency kits with you, just in case if you didn't realize you're gonna be starting a cycle or anything like that. You'll have that on handy, and then, or if anybody else needs something, you can be one of the girls in the bathroom, like give it to them. I felt always so good when a girl asked me like, hey, do you have a pad or tampon? And I'm like, I do, just for you. I knew it. No, it wasn't just for them. It was really because I always kept it on me, just in case of emergencies. Anyways, there are gonna be a few people that, you know, do probably smell sometimes here and there. I'm not one to judge. You don't know what's going on with them at home. If they don't have the things, if be like, hey man, need some gum? Slide you some gum? I don't know, maybe. With appearance and dressing up, I know when the months get colder, we're gonna be wearing pajama pants and stuff. I would do that all the time. Like, I'm not one to be like, don't wear pajama pants. I'm not a person to tell you what you can and cannot wear, but I will say you look like you're ready for the day, you're ready to go. And you don't have to have the nicest clothes, you don't have to have the nicest shoes, you don't have to have the nicest makeup, you don't have to have the nicest backpack. You really don't, because high school, nobody really cares, and they're always worrying about themselves. High school should be all about expressing yourself. wearing whatever you want to wear. If you get dress coded, that is on you, and maybe that's on them, because I've gotten dress coded a few times for something that was random and I wore it again and they never said anything. But that's just my school. My first school was very bipolar. My second school, they did not care about what you wore. Whatever makes you comfortable, wear it. But one thing I always say is, if you look good, you feel good, and if you feel good, you're gonna do good in academics, because this is about school. Speaking of academics, you need to stay on top of your work and make it a priority to turn in your assignments on time. This one is a very big one, because this is one of the things I messed up and learned very quickly. Doing my work and turning in on time and things like that. Before, I would slack. Like freshman year, I would do my work. Like, I passed my classes. It's just one thing with me, and I feel like a lot of other people can relate, is procrastination is a big thing throughout life in general. With grades and procrastination, those don't go well sometimes. A lot of the times, the day it's supposed to be due, the night before, you're like, oh my gosh, I have nothing done. I have like 5 assignments to do in 5 different classes, and they're all due tomorrow, and I haven't even started them. You'll be like, oh my gosh, I still have a chance. I could turn it in late. But the more you stack up on those late assignments, the more your GPA will go down. Your junior and senior years, you gotta take that GPA stuff very, very, very seriously. If you are looking forward to going to college, they're gonna be looking at that, and you're like, I got a grade on this late assignment. I got like the highest late assignment grade, but how come this college is not accepting me, or how come my GPA average is low? It's because you're being consistent with being inconsistent, basically. To not get into that habit of turning in things late or getting low grades, managing your time better when it comes to grades, work, and balancing it out. Learn to build a structured routine that works for you. Everybody is different. They work in different types of ways. Some people are visual, some people are hands-on, some people they listen, they like to hear, and that's how they learn. One of my biggest problems I had was people pleasing. I'm also very nice, so it was, at first it was kind of hard to distinguish in between the two, but I kind of got it now. People pleasing is a tendency to accommodate others' needs at the expense of one's own. People pleasers may have difficulty setting boundaries and may feel pressure to be nice all the time. They also may fear disapproval from others more than living their own values. Being nice is different because you are sharing courtesy. You're being reasonable. People pleasing is actually very common in high school. It's not necessarily a terrible thing, but it's not a good thing, a good trait to have at all. To avoid people pleasing, you just have to learn to say no to things. Saying no will get you so far and stop you from getting into really bad situations, like peer pressure. Somebody asks you to do their homework and like, you're like,
sure, I'll do it for you because that's who I am and I want you to like me.
I don't want disapproval. I don't want people to think that I'm this way, but in general, you want people to like you. I'm gonna tell you, I'm gonna hold your hand when I say this. Not everybody's gonna be your friend, and not everybody's going to like you, and that is just life in general. It's not high school, that's life. Next one is friends. If you want friends, you have to put yourself in areas where you make friends. So like joining clubs and sports will give you friends automatically. Sports, you work together. What they say, these are group-based activities. If you want friends, go join a club. I don't know what clubs your school has. Every school is different. I know my school, both the schools I went to, they had basically the same clubs. I was only in one club, which was an extension to my culinary class. It was FCCLA, and it was basically, if you don't know what culinary is, because some people don't know what culinary is, it's a cooking class basically. And that was really fun. You create bonds with people, you become friends with those people. Or joining teams and clubs is a great way to make friends because you guys are sharing similar interests, and that's a conversation starter right there. So boom. Throughout my high school career, I was the captain of my cheer team. I played basketball. I also played flag football. That was my favorite sport of all time. It still is, and I love it. I still play when I have the time to do so. And I did track my last year of senior year. So those things, I made a few friends through there, and that's what happened. I actually joined those teams in the clubs because I was genuinely interested. And if you actually have a genuine interest in those, that also was really good for you. It's an outlet than academics. If you're thinking about doing sports, do sports. It's not just for the friends, but it helps you, it actually builds you as a person. Because sports, a lot of times you have to have discipline. A lot of the times you can't play if your grades are bad, if you're failing 2 classes. So if you like the sport you playing, you gotta do good in your class. So it's a win-win there, but if you're not doing good, you can't play. So now what are we talking about here? If you don't feel like joining any clubs or sports or anything of that sort, talk to people. I was also pretty social throughout my high school career, except for senior year. I was really focused just on graduating that year. Dude, you have to talk to people. You have to talk to people. You can't just sit there and be quiet and you think, why am I not having friends? You can't make relationships, bonds, or any connections without talking to people in the real world too. Even though it might be nerve-wracking at first for some, I know for a fact I had some problems with talking to people. If you go into it with like thinking, what if they don't like me, then that means that they're not for you. Making friends is one thing, but maintaining those friendships is another. Know that friends will come and go. Be prepared to lose friends that may seem like they will be there forever. And that is advice not just for high school, but life in general. So I added that in there because one thing my mom always told me was that not everyone's gonna like you, like I said earlier, but not everyone's your friend, and also friends do come and go. In middle school, I'm pretty sure you've had some friends and you're entering high school and you're not friends, you don't talk to them no more. You guys are just no longer friends anymore. So that's the same thing that's gonna happen throughout life, but especially in high school, you're gonna see friends come and go. Friends are not gonna always be there, so don't be so dependent on them. Don't keep that friends come and go in your mind as if, like, and be nonchalant about it and be like, okay, well, this friend feels this way, I guess she doesn't want to be friends with me anymore, so it is what it is. Don't brush them off, and you know, because that's not maintaining a friendship. And friendships, you gotta talk. Relationships, you gotta talk. There's communication. Communication is very key. Communicate and don't be nonchalant about it, but also keep in mind that friends do come and go. Like, be careful with putting your entire existence into friends in high school. That's something I had to learn. I was so focused on other people and just not the right things. When it came down to me no longer being friends with those people, it felt like I lost myself. And I've seen so many people that have went through the same thing because they put their entire existence into other people and friends instead of themselves. It's a balance. You gotta put a balance into it. And so when they're not there no more, you don't feel as empty. You know, I would say, looking back on it now, I wouldn't say I lost myself. I would say I gained the opportunity to actually find myself and be myself for the right people, and the right people will come. I gained the opportunity to focus on myself is what I did, was what happened for me. Everyone's experience is different, but 9 times out of 10 when people leave, relationships too, you gain the opportunity to look and reflect on yourself. Just really figure out how to balance your social life, yourself, your family, your academics, and any other extracurricular things that you're doing. Just, it's all a balance. Life is a balance. I think I'm also saying this because I'm a Libra and that's the balance being, but like, I'm very big on balance. Like, you have to have that freaking balance in life. If you don't have that balance in life, what are you doing? What are we doing here? You're not gonna be whole if you don't have that balance. So have that balance. High school is a GTA server for drama. There's a lot going on at once. There's a lot of he said, she said things. There is a lot of crying, fighting, bullying is also a big one too. People calling out people's names. There's a lot going on at once when it comes to drama. What I will say is try your best to stay away from the drama. And I say try because sometimes the drama will magically just appear to you and you can't really do nothing about it, because a lot of the time that's gonna happen. The drama will fly to you like it's a freaking Powerpuff Girl or something. I don't know. Learn to be quiet. Learn to shut the hell up. Don't talk. If you feel like you have to talk about something or feed into the drama, don't feed into the drama. If you have to apply yourself into something, say your opinion, state your opinion, and then leave it alone. And that's it. Okay, that's it. But my main thing I will say is just to don't even say nothing, because nobody can say nothing but the person that's not saying shit. Oh, let me skip my language. Nobody can say anything to the person that is not saying anything. If it's like bullying or something you genuinely cannot handle, I would say and recommend tell a trusted adult. And I'm not one to snitch, or I'm not like a person that likes to snitch and stuff, but that's a whole different story. If something is really bothering you and you feel like you can't handle something, I say tell a trusted adult. It doesn't have to be a staff member from the school, but it can also be a parent, it can also be an older sibling, a friend's mom, or whatever. Just tell someone. Always tell someone if you feel like you are being threatened, you feel like you're being bullied, because you'll be surprised on what they could do to help you with, and what advice that they could give you to how to handle a situation. Drama does feel like the end of the world, but I'm gonna tell you right now, it's really not the end of the world. It's high school drama. It's not gonna matter. If it's something like really bad where it's like criminal and violence and stuff, maybe it matters. But 9 times out of 10, drama does not matter. If it's drama, it means it does not matter. That's what it equals. D stands for does not matter. Okay? Yeah, that's what it means. It is easier for me to say that it's not going to matter than it actually happening, but a year from now or a year from when it happens, it's really not going to matter. You're going to be like, dang, Gabby was right. I mean, for me personally, I've been in a few situations where I was like, dang, this is gonna be a long time for me to just walk in and get my life together. So I was like, dang, this is gonna last for the rest of my life, or this is so bad, this is the end of the world. I'm here, we're here talking about it. Relationships and situationships. I say there's nothing wrong with being in a relationship. It's actually very fun to be in a relationship. I was never really in a real relationship. I think my last actual relationship was like in middle school. I never really been in a school relationship. I've never been in a school relationship. I wouldn't say don't do it. Don't do one. It's actually really great for you to experience a relationship. They may not be your high school sweetheart. That's very rare nowadays in this generation and time. I don't know if you guys are. That's kudos to you. Kudos to you, and I send happiness to your relationship, and I hope it's healthy and not toxic. If you are in one, don't be that guy, don't be that girl that forgets everyone and everything. You know, you forget your friends, you forget your family, you forget yourself. You don't want that. Make sure it's healthy and not toxic. I will say though, being in school relationships at school is a little iffy. Your relationship is now everybody else's relationship. Best believe people are gonna try to figure out what's going on between y'all. Someone says, I didn't really see them together like that today. She walked right past him in the hall. They're gonna like, they're broken up. What happened? And then in reality, nothing really happened, or something is happening. You guys are in an argument and nobody really you don't want nobody knowing. You're gonna be in your business. I wouldn't even recommend being in a relationship at the same school. So if you guys break up, you have third period with Connor. So that's gonna be awkward. Don't know what to tell you about that one, buddy. Connor is over there, sitting over there, you're looking over here, and the night before you guys broke up, you were in tears, and now you guys are having chemistry together. Obviously there's no chemistry no more, and at this point, this was relationships and situationships. So although I have not been in a real school relationship, I've been in situationships, and situationships are a bit different. Being a person that was raised to take a person seriously when it comes to those things, I always tend to go for the opposite of what I was willing to offer. But they do say opposites attract, so ain't that about a blip. Never ever ever get into a situationship unless you genuinely enjoy it and you are genuinely okay with not seeing a future with the person. Situationships are so unhealthy. Don't do it. You're supposed to be focusing on school, girl. You're supposed to be focusing on graduating. You're supposed to be focusing on having fun. You're supposed to be happy. You're not supposed to be stuck on a man or stuck on a girl. It gets you nowhere but heartbreak and tears. I have seen so many girls in distress at school because of a guy that they like has been playing games with them. Grades and performance start dropping, attendance being at risk, and sometimes conflict with family starts to happen when it comes to situationships or just very toxic relationships. I've seen that so many times, and I'm gonna be honest, I was also one of those girls. I'm gonna be honest, I was one of those girls that had my grades dropping, my attendance was failing great crazy. I was sleeping in, and not because of a full-blown situationship, but because of how it was affecting me. I've seen so many girls go through that too, that took it a little bit further, and that should not be your focus. But you're gonna see that in high school, you're gonna see that, and hopefully you don't go through that. But if you do, I really hope you learn from it. And I don't regret being in situations just because I learned a lot about myself. I never said we make mistakes. I said we just make some missteps. If you find yourself in a position liking someone and it's just not going nowhere, don't be toxic and don't go back. If it's over and they come back and you're telling the group chat, you're like, they've changed, things are different now. They did not change. That is not true. It's gonna be a cycle that is repeated, and you don't want that cycle to repeat. I repeat, you don't want that cycle to repeat. A situation is a problem, and to solve it, you need to leave and exit. So I have a few questions here. One says, do you have any study tips? I like to be hands-on. I'm a hands-on visual learner. I would write out my notes. I'm not really a person that likes to type things out. It's a lot of memorization and also practicing. Studying is all about practicing and learning and memorization. It says, what class did you enjoy taking the most in high school? I wouldn't even say my basic classes. I would say psychology was my favorite class I took in high school. It opens your eyes and your mind to a lot of different perspectives on people and things and situations. So that was my favorite class that I took in high school. Tips for note organization. Note organization, have a planner, get a planner. I would have a planner for school and outside of school, 2 different planners, folders and notebooks. Some people use binders, some people use their computer to put their notes. I cannot do that because I'm not gonna remember, and I'm not gonna use. They should give you a computer at school. If you have your own, that's also good, but also know how to manage it. This is all, high school is really all about you and how you are going to do it, because nobody's going to do your work for you, nobody's going to take your test for you. Have that discipline to have your notes organized and find out a good organization that you have. For me, I use highlighters with different colors with different meanings. Sometimes they switch up because I be forgetting. When I write notes, I would block them off and like put them in a customized organization thing on my notebook. This is a good one. So when I'll be writing notes, I'm creative a lot of times, and I have like my attention span sometimes get very low. Thing I would do, I love putting this little line in between, like little squiggles right here. Please don't be caught up in boys. Don't be caught up in boys. They are not important. They're really not important. If other people are doing stuff that you aren't doing, or you're thinking about doing, which is like losing your virginity or being sexually active, use protection. And I wouldn't recommend dealing with a lot of people in high school. There's a lot of people in high school that will have a reputation, girls and guys, for messing with this guy or this girl or this other guy and this other girl. You know, you don't want that reputation. I mean, if you care, if you don't care, like, but if you're being sexually active, do it safe and do it smart. Use protection, be wise about your decisions and who you're going to be doing them with. Also, if you're a freshman or a sophomore, stay away from the upperclassmen. They're not going to get you anywhere. They're going to get you with heartbreak and tears. Usually the underclassmen are the easier ones to go at. Just stay clear of the upperclassmen. I would recommend getting with them. Don't do it. I hope you guys have a great back to school year. Study hard, make memories, and have fun. Thank you guys for watching today's video. I really appreciate you guys watching, and I hope you guys took some good advice.